I'm Andrew Metz, the Vice President of the SMB sales team. Today I'm going to talk to you about cold calling, and I'm going to break it out into 4 parts. Part 1, pre-call planning and who to call. Part 2, the most common objections you'll receive. Part 3, what to do and what not to do. And then we'll wrap it up with Part 4, cold calling tips. So let's talk about pre-call planning. One of the biggest mistakes people make when cold calling is they don't know who they're calling or why they're calling. Make sure to use resources to help give you an angle when you're cold calling. We suggest MyEdge or some resource where you can tell who the incumbent broker is and what type of commissions they're receiving. Look to see if there's any common themes with groups that you've won in the past as far as specific brokers that you've won it from. Identify areas where companies are looking for HR support. Take a look at Indeed or Monster in your area to see if any companies are soliciting for an HR manager. You know they have HR needs, you can go in and fill that need. Specifically, a proprietary tool we have is the Department of Labor Violations Database. This will help you identify who's been called on by the Department of Labor and you know there's a need there. And then finally, we have prospecting scripts in the broker briefcase to get you started with specific wording, voicemails to leave, and emails to send out. The second part are common objections. You know if you're cold calling that you're going to receive some objections. Let's talk through the most common ones. The first one would be, I'm happy with my current broker. You know this is coming, so prepare for it. You know what? ABC company told me the same thing 5 years ago, but I found out in 30 minutes that we identified 4 cost-saving strategies to start implementing with them. This is a great way to combat the I'm happy with the broker, is give them something of value that maybe you've provided for another company. The second most common objection is, my renewal isn't until the fall, call me in September. A good response would be I understand your renewal is not until December, but I have cost-saving strategies that I can help implement tomorrow. How soon can we meet? Go ahead and beat them to the punch about meeting off a renewal. Don't compete with other brokers come renewal time. Go out and don't be afraid to win the broker record letter off renewal. Now the third part I want to talk about is what to do and what not to do. So the first example I'm going to give you is a wrong way to cold call. Do not lead with a value proposition that talks simply about price or a dollar amount. Examples would be, I would like to market out your plan. Don't get into a bidding war. We know if you win on price today that you'll lose on price tomorrow. The right way to cold call is to challenge the incumbent relationship. Have a compelling story and be able to execute on it. Ask how much their current broker makes. They might not even be aware of it. And then really dig in and ask them what they receive for those commission dollars. Don't forget about the prospecting scripts in the broker briefcase to help set you up for these conversations. The fourth thing I want to talk about is cold calling tips. Remember, this is a numbers game. You're going to see rejection. A no, another no is get you one step closer to a yes. Don't be afraid to get into a rhythm. If you're going to sit down and make cold calls, don't make 2 or 3 at a time. Commit to making 10 to 15 cold calls at a time. This will get you comfortable with your talk tracks, your elevator pitch, and get you in a nice rhythm. Have thick skin and have a short memory. You're going to receive rejections. That's okay. That doesn't necessarily hinder you from setting a meeting on the next cold call. The reason why producers have call reluctance is they don't have a compelling message and they're not ready, prepared, and practiced. Have fun cold calling. Use these tips. Use the scripts and go out and set some meetings.